Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is the closing bell for Thursday, February 24th. 4 days left in this month of February, and yes, the NBA is back. Scotty Webb, all excited as we can go through the NBA hardwood as they come back from the All-Star break. And the Celtics, I think, have 22 games left in the season. And I heard the locals, someone did projected, and they're going to go on an 18-4 run, finish second in the East, only to lose in Game 7 of the first round to the Hawks. So I found that kind of comical. To our VIPs, last night, was kind of comical as well. We'll go to the Pucks and Edmonton with a great plus 175 number. Their goalie gave up 4 goals in like 13 shots. They come back 4-3 and lose with an empty netter 5-3. The Kings puck line plus 125, 3-2 lead in the third, and of course no empty netter. And our step on the gas, only our second one of the year, 1.5 units on Colorado State -6. We bought the hook. Up 6, 9 seconds to go, 1-1. Had not missed a free throw all damn night, and of course missed that one, and lands on 6. So kind of an uneventful night for our crew, but we're back at it today. So without further ado, let's bring our man from the Palm Tree State and himself, the one, the only, Mr. Scott E. Webb. Afternoon, Scott.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jeff Dawson. How are you today?
I'm hanging in there. How about yourself?
Hey, I'm good. I mean, weather's been really, really good here. For those of you in the north or up in Midwest or whatever, this is the time that you want to come down to Florida. I mean, this is the time. I mean, we're 80 degrees, 85 degrees. Nice and comfortable, hardly any humidity, and relatively cool to warm at night, and it's just beautiful here right now.
Shout out to my man, Mr. Rich Howe, watching us. I think for the first time, well, actually the first time that he chimed in. Hopefully, Rich, you get your 6 to 8, 9 inches of snow tomorrow, so you can take out the mobiles like you like to do and go bombing around. Miss you. Haven't seen you in a while. We need to grab some lunch. Our YouTube guy, Mr. Jasmine, thanks for the follow. Anyone on YouTube, do us a favor. Please, please, please subscribe. It's free. And hit the like button there. All of our loyal followers, Mr. Billy Hewlin, Mr. Lucky Fade, Mr. Follow Fade, I'm sorry, Mr. Lucky, Mr. Marty Lowe, and everyone else here. Back to business today. NBA is back, and kind of comical at a few of the numbers. And I'm going to pull it right up now so you can dive right in. I'm just going to talk a little first about them. I call them corrections. It's more of, especially in the Boston, New Jersey game, or Brooklyn game, excuse me. None of the stars are playing. It went from an opening number of 4 to 9. And also on the Golden State Portland game, that went from 6.5 to 10. And seeing a little reverse line movement on Detroit tonight, who opened at plus 8.5, now 6 against Cleveland. Interesting. Now we're in that final stretch of the playoffs, Scott, getting to the playoffs, the final 22 games where we know some teams are already getting ready for draft lottery. Other teams trying to position themselves in the seeding, staying out of the play-in games, and some trying to grab the 1 and 2 seeds. But the board is yours, my friend. Take it away.
Yeah, isn't it a little interesting that the NBA All-Star game just happened, and usually that's a halfway point in the season, and they only got 22 games left? It's interesting, and I can see plain as day looking at pregame that the NBA is back, because these games just dwarf the college basketball games for the most part, and how much money's being bet on them and so forth. So it's I think everybody, to a certain degree, I shouldn't say everybody, but I would say the betting public is glad that the NBA is back to action, because Uh, almost every game is over $100,000 tonight, Jeff.
They've been saving their money. Jesus, most of them probably still bet on the All-Star game, the dunk contest, the three-point contest, and whatever other contest that they could. So they got 4 days. Tomorrow's payday. So Jesus, might as well let it fire.
Hey, it is what it is, right? I mean, the NBA's back. So this is what the first comment I want to make about the NBA being back is they've been rested now for a week. That doesn't necessarily mean they're rusty. It doesn't mean anything. What it means to me is teams that are rested play better defense. So I see a lot of overs coming on this being bet up here, and I would just caution the people that when you're talking about rested teams, they play better defense. It's not that they play better offense. Usually non-rested teams will still shoot, and the shooters shoot, right? That's what they say. But the legs can't carry them and put them in front of those guys. So they will tonight, and they will probably for the next night, because there'll be another bunch of guys just getting ready to go. But for coming back day in the NBA, these aren't great matchups. These are some of them are pretty crappy. I mean, you got Cleveland versus Detroit, and you got Phoenix versus Oklahoma City, and you got Golden State and Portland, and Denver and Sacramento. I mean, these are terrible matchups for the most part. So what's caught my eye though is Atlanta plays Chicago tonight, and we're looking at this matchup. So far, Chicago's done pretty well. They've played twice already, and Chicago's beat them both times. And this is a game in Chicago, so that's a better factor for them. They're only 3-point favorites. My numbers tell me they should be at least 7-point favorites. So I like the idea that Chicago's in a good spot. What is consistent with the numbers is I run a number for the last 5 days, I run a number for the last 14 days, and then I run a number for the season home and away, right? So when I'm looking at these numbers, the last 14-day numbers show 118, 125 Chicago. And then the home and away number shows 111, 118 Chicago. And then the last 5 days number is a 6-point spread. So every single number that I have shows me that Chicago wins by 6 or 7. And then I looked at it from a perspective of the Chicago is number 10th in the league in the last 14 days on defense. And Atlanta's number 22. I'm just going to take the home team here. I'm going to take them on better defense. I'm going to take them as the team that's the better team. They got to cover 3 points, but I'm okay with them covering the 3 points. My numbers say 7. So I'm taking Chicago. I'm taking them minus the 3. And I was going to tell you where they are on offense too. Chicago is the number 3 offense in basketball in the last 2 weeks. They're averaging 120 points a game. And they're playing Atlanta, who's the 22 defense in the league. So I like the idea that Chicago is going to go out, play defense. They're going to be able to score enough points to cover the 3 and play good defense enough that they're going to handle this game. The second one that caught my eye, and it's a little more confusing, but Memphis and Minnesota. I'm going to ride Memphis for a long time. I'm going to ride them again tonight. I think they're minus 1.5. Memphis is the number 1 scoring team in the NBA over the last 2 weeks. They're averaging 121, really 122 points a game. And now they're going to face a team in Minnesota that's got the number 17 defense in the league. Now there's 30 teams, so they're right in the middle. But that team hasn't been scoring. That team is 22nd in offense, and they're only averaging 111 points a game. So the numbers really show in a big way for the last 5 to 14 days that Memphis is much, much better than what Minnesota is. Now, I took a look at where the teams are in terms of what they've been working against, and Minnesota's played the 14th toughest schedule in that, say, 14 days. And Memphis has played the 26th. So Memphis has played a lot more easy opponents. So the numbers are a little skewed there. But I'm looking at it, they only got to cover a bucket. So I'm okay with that. My numbers tell me that they should cover that bucket. And I've got them at least by 4 to 4.5 points as a number. And then I look at the matchup and I go, okay, the matchup is better for Memphis at this point. And Memphis, they've won 8 of the last 10 games. And I don't think they're going to have any trouble because these are younger guys that will start this All-Star break coming back from it on the road. And I don't think that's going to be a problem for them. I think they're just going to be just fine. And I think I'm taking Memphis. The only one that caught my eye that I backed off on was Portland. And I know that sounds the most ridiculous thing in the world because I think that line opened at like 6.5 and it's been steamed up to 10, something like that. And but I don't think what people realize with Portland is over the last 14 days, Portland is the number 1 team against the spread. They are plus 18.8 points against the spread in margin. And it's not because the trade they made has worked out. They're now the 5th leading scoring team in the NBA in the last 14 days. And on defense, they're the 7th best defense. And people don't know that. And they're playing in Golden State, and Golden State ranks 29th out of 30 teams in covering the spread margin. So I like the idea that Portland's getting steamed, or not steamed here, the other side's getting steamed. But the matchup's not very good. I mean, the players are better for the other side, but it's just one of those spots where I'm going to back off only because the market's telling me something that I'm not seeing, so I'm just not going to play it. So my 2 plays today, Jeff: Chicago -3, Memphis -1.5, and that's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, like I said, there's been some crazy movements. I mean, from my eyes, the way I read the market, some reverse line movement on the Pistons. Can't touch the correction on the Celtics. I see reverse line movement on Atlanta, but that's again just difference of you and I and how we do, how we peel the layers back. The Memphis
that game has, Jeff, $145,000 bet on it already.
Still 105,000 short of Texas Tech.
Well, there you go.
I still want to know who dropped those bags off, and please call me next time you do that. So, and there's some reverse line movement. I mean, come on now. Denver goes into Sacramento, open 4.5, now 3.5 at Circa, 4 at the rest of the Vegas Strip. 66% of the bets, 62% of the money on Denver. Yet the tomatoes are getting some reverse line movement.
Hey, I've got a higher number than that. This shows $90,000 on the game. It's almost the lowest bet game. The first game with the Cavaliers and the Pistons only show $81,000, but this is $90,000 on the game. 91% of the bets, 86% of the tickets on Denver.
I'll just leave that there. Let's go to the college ranks. I'll start with the game that's on top. It's kind of comical. If you go into Ken Palm and you click on Northeastern, I think you're going to see they're 1-17 in conference. Yet they're open 8.5 point favorites. And listen, the public said 89% of the bets, 98% of the money on William and Mary. I mean, listen, Ken Palm had a perfect sheet a couple days ago. I don't know in holy hell who would ever bet Northeastern again. Never mind his 8 or 8.5 point favorites. I'm just telling you guys, just tread lightly on William and Mary. Say a few prayers if you do take them. I'll say right now, Vegas knows something, but I had Northeastern on the desk the other day, and when I sent out the alert, I'm like, guys, I'm saving you some grief. The sheet says take Northeastern, and we know they're going to get out early, and they're just not going to hold on, and that's exactly what happened. Big lead early, played grab ass the second half, and lost by double digits. So what do you have, about 5,000 on that game?
No, 19. 19,000 on the game, 80% of the tickets. I'm sorry, 80% of the cash and 67% of the tickets on William and Mary.
Northeastern wins by double digits. Don't play it though. That's why I'll just leave that there. I thought this number was a little high and intriguing. Charlotte has shown some flashes at home. 757, 758 on the rotation. 60% of the bets, 65% of the money on FIU. A line that opened at 8, now 7.5, Scott.
Yeah, this one shows 14,000 and 52% of the money, 54% of the tickets on Florida International.
Yeah, maybe the number opened up high. They're trying to attract FIU money. They're getting it, so I'm going to stay away. Earlier this morning on the Breakfast Bankroll, Colton at Talking the Line at Colton TTL Sports. Shout out to him and Mags. We talked about this game. Cleveland State rotation number 759, 760 opened at 1 point favorites, now 1.5 point favorites. 60% of the bets, 63% of the money on Cleveland State. We both like Detroit in this spot.
Yeah, this one's interesting to me only because of the volume. $47,000 on this game. 57% of the money, 66% of the tickets on Cleveland State.
I like Detroit plus the 1.5. If you want to buy the hook to 2, please do. And you could probably get them at around plus 115 on the money line. The old Maryland at Indiana, 761, 762. The Hoosiers open up -6. They're at 6.5 at Westgate and South Point. 55% of the bets, 51% of the money coming in on Maryland. Again, I call them the twerps for a reason. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. Doesn't matter which way we play. Whatever way we play on them, the opposite happens. An Indiana team that desperately needs a win. I think the number's pretty spot on here.
57,000 on this game, and in the College Board, it's like tied for second highest. Now 58,000. Sorry, 63% of the money, 54% of the tickets, all on Indiana.
Yeah, line freeze. I mean, I would say, lean a little twerps. I don't like the game. Stay away. But the number I think is pretty spot on. Rotation number 769, 770, NC Wilmington and Drexel. And you guys that have followed us here religiously know this NC Wilmington team, like Providence, like Marquette, they just get no respect. And a team that I think right now still is leading the conference, yet opened up 5.5 point underdogs, now 5 on the Vegas Strip. 63% of the bets, 96% of the money on NC Wilmington.
Yeah, 15,000 on the game, 73% of the money, 65% of the tickets showing on NC Wilmington.
Yeah, I mean, I would lean Drexel just because of the opening number. I respect the opening number. Again, I think they're trying to get that Wilmington money, but like Davidson, they're just a freight train. So stay away. I'll just leave it at stay away there. We talked about the Maryland-Indiana game. I think the same thing here on this one. Rotation number 773, 774. Marshall at Middle Tennessee, a line that opened up at 8, and now it's down to 6.5. I'm showing 67% of the bets, 91% of the money on Middle Tennessee State, which would mean reverse line movement on Marshall. I'm going to assume you got conflicting information.
Well, this is a little weird, only in a sense that $57,000 bet. So this is tied with the big boys here. And 85% of the money, 86% of the tickets on Middle Tennessee.
Well, and what do you have for an opening number and a number there?
The opening number that I have is Middle Tennessee -9.5 over under 156.5. Number I'm showing right now is -6.5 and 150 on the total.
So this huge reverse line movement on Marshall, and that's what our eyes tell you. Be careful with the Thunder and the Herd. They're very inconsistent. You can go leave the couch up 5, go to the bathroom, grab a sandwich, and come back and be down 8. So just be careful there. Siena at Quinnipiac, another game that Colton talked about. Rotation number 779, 780. 87% of the bets, 85% of the money on Quinnipiac. They opened at 2, now 2.5.
Nobody betting this one, Jeff. $3,700, 65% of the money, 56% of tickets on Quinnipiac.
So the numbers and the tickets moving in the right direction there. Rotation number 781, 782, Temple at Memphis. You know my story with Memphis, Jekyll and Hyde. Since the Penny Hardaway meltdown, the team has been playing phenomenal. I think they only had one hiccup in between, a game that Colton spoke about earlier this morning. He feels the numbers way, way too high. 75% of the bets, 71% of the money is on Temple, yet the line is stuck on 12.
Yeah, this one shows kind of a different story, if you want to call it that. First of all, 65,000 on the game, so it's kind of up there. It shows an opening number of 10 and a line now of 11.5, and it's showing 67% of the money, 67% of the tickets on Temple. So it's actually showing reverse line movement on Memphis.
Yeah, again, Memphis, I could see winning by 18 or 20. Temple's playing better of late. They've actually clawed out a few wins, and they've covered a few times. So, again, one of these Jekyll and Hyde games, I would rather have you stay away there. Here's one not many will be talking about. Rotation number 809, 810, Denver at St. Thomas. St. Thomas is one of these teams that's actually played decent at home, a Denver team that has been atrocious this year. Yet the line opened at 3, now 2.5, with 71% of the bets, 70% of the money on St. Thomas.
Jeff, nobody wants to bet this game. It's $1,000 on the game. 71% of the money, 71% of the tickets on St. Thomas.
I leaned Denver there +3, guys. And it wasn't my $1,000, so trust me on that. A game that I sent out to 75,000 email subscribers today. Rotation number 823, 824, Gonzaga, the number 1 team in the country. I think I had it written. They have won 16 in a row, I think. Rotation number 823, 824, opened at 9.5, now 10, 68% of the bets, 71% of the money on the Zags. Listen, San Fran has got a real good team. Are they in the Zags league? They're in their conference, but they're not at their level. It's senior night. I like the Dons plus the 10, and call me crazy here. And I know, just call me crazy. Take a look. You can probably get them around plus 350, 360 on the money line. Sprinkle a little beer and pizza money. Will it happen? Probably not. Do I expect San Fran to play a good game? I do. Do I think they cover? I do. But it's the Zags and a team that was just favored by 32-30 on the road in conference play.
Well, this is the college big boy. $106,000 on the game. 77% of the money on Gonzaga, 85% of the tickets on Gonzaga.
It's the day before payday, boys and girls. So, again, just buyer beware, everyone back in the Zags, because you don't get them at numbers like this. You know, they're 15, 18, 22, 30, 33, the number 1 team in the country. And there'll even be more and more money poured in after people play the 6:37 and 8 o'clock game. So I lean Dons. I like the Dons. And if they win outright, just remember to send me a nice tweet or something on at EC Sports Invest on Twitter. Ohio State at Illinois, 829, 830 on the rotation, 9 p.m. tip-off. 57% of the bets, 92% of the money on the Illini. Opened at 6, now 7. I saw our boy and friend Riley Maggs tweet out just a few minutes before we started the show. A sea of orange today, and not the white out. It's going to be the orange out in Illinois. So all Ohio State backers, he said, beware.
It'll be a big pumpkins fest going on over there. 63,000 on the game, 57% of the ticket money, 54% of the tickets on Illinois. So much different spread number or percentage numbers there than what you had.
Rotation number 835, 836, Arizona State at Colorado. You guys know my feelings on Arizona State, who has played a lot better of late, though. I think they just got waxed by someone, so the real Arizona State showed up. Colorado opens up 5.5, now 6. 58% of the bets, 78% of the money on Colorado.
Yeah, 50,000 on the game, 79% of the bets, and 78% of the tickets, all on Colorado.
Yeah, I think the number's pretty spot on. I have no idea which Arizona State team's going to show up. Therefore, I can't give you a real good opinion on that one. Again, great game, 9:30. Well, it was supposed to be a great game. Rotation number 837, 838. UCLA at Oregon. The Ducks have not quacked in a while. They're not going where everyone thought they'd go, at least not yet. They'll probably cheat and win the Pac-10 tournament to get into the dance. Opened at 3, UCLA -3, 59% of the bets, 78% of the money on the Ducks.
Yeah, this one's the second big boy in the college basketball here. $92,000 bet on the game. 54% of the money is on Oregon. 58% of the tickets is on UCLA.
I would lean the Ducks just on desperation alone. I think, though, as you can see, that's where the public's thinking as well. UCLA's the better team this year. They were the better team last year. I'm staying away. I'm going to enjoy the game. It's a tough number. If the Ducks show up, I think they got a good chance. But if they play like they've been playing, UCLA wins and wins comfortably. So real tough game to gauge. Too public-y for me. Looks like the Ducks is that big public trendy dog today. A little reverse line movement here. Rotation number 859, 860, a late night classic. Arizona at Utah. 77% of the bets, 75% of the money on Arizona. 11 and opened at 11.5, now 10.5, Scott.
Yeah, this one shows an opening number of 13, now down to 11. $41,000 bet on the game, and 90% of the money, 88% of the tickets, all on Arizona.
Yeah, a little reverse line movement on the Utes. Again, they're not the Utes of old. I respect the reverse line movement. I see what everyone's thinking there. You know, if you're up late and you're looking for a little action pizza and beer money, I respect the plus 10.5, 11. Just be aware this Arizona team is beating up some teams by 20 or 30. So, and this is not a strong Ute team. So I think the number's pretty spot on. Again, like the Zags, Arizona is a big public darling here. So just beware there. I'm going to go take a quick look at the frozen pond. The Leafs. I will not talk about the Leafs in a good voice. They opened up -160, now -136 against the Wild. I can't go in either which way because if I go against the Leafs, they'll win by 5. If I take Minnesota, actually, if I take Toronto, Minnesota will beat them. If I go Minnesota, Toronto, so I'm just staying away there. Washington and Rangers. Rangers beat the teams they're supposed to. And the lesser teams, when you put them up against a team that is better than them, they usually don't perform well. Yet, Rangers opened up -125, still favored at -112, 62% of the bets, 82% of the money, though, on Washington.
Yeah, this one's showing 27,000 on the game. And I got to tell you, before we get too far out of the NHL leads the market today with the highest bet game. Blah. Anyway, 27,000 on this game, 68% of the money, 66% of the tickets on the New York Rangers.
So you're trying to tell me that the Devils and the Penguins is the game?
Nope.
No? It's not Boston and Seattle.
Nope.
We already went over Washington and the Rangers. Dallas and Nashville?
Yep.
A game that opened at 145, now 142, 76% of the bets, 92% of the money on Nashville.
$179,000 bet on this game. And this is showing me 99% of the money, 83% of the tickets on Nashville. I'm guessing somebody dropped a big bag on one of their casinos that they're monitoring to get that kind of a 99% of the money, 83% of the tickets number on $179,000. So I'm guessing somebody dropped some money on Nashville.
Well, it coincides. It coincides with what we talked about with the Texas Tech and Baylor game. They gotta be locked into some casinos, some big numbers in the Texas area. So Dallas is from Texas, so therefore they might have a wink wink or something on Nashville, knowing something about Dallas tonight.
It makes sense. I just thought that was very standoutish, because there's never a time when the NHL number is bigger than a college basketball number. Usually a lot of them are about the same, and they're certainly never bigger than the NBA numbers. And this is the biggest, heaviest bet game on the board, and the numbers. I just think there's somebody put some money on Nashville today. Like one guy walked in and said, "Here's 60 grand or 70 grand or 100 grand on them."
No, probably about 150 grand on them. Rotation number 63-64, Islanders at San Jose. Islanders open at 115, now 128. Showing 65% of the bets, 82% of the money on San Jose.
So here's a perfect example, Jeff. This game, $11,000 bet on the game, versus $180,000 on the other game. Islanders 73% of the money, and San Jose 53% of the tickets.
So there's been a good move on the Islanders here. So anyone watching and listening, keep an eye on Nashville. You can go to Circa right now at -142, and I like the movement on the Islanders minus the 128 there. Let me get out of here for you, because we've come to that time of the show where you take over, my friend. 1 second here. It's that time for Webby's Words of Wisdom.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about be a person of action, right? So when you're a person of action, I did a synonym search to see what that description would come up as. And if you're sitting there and you're thinking about it, think about this, for example. Would you want to be called an achiever? Would you want to be called a motivator? How about a dynamo? How about energetic? How about a mover and shaker or a risk taker? That's what a person of action is. And in life and in business, you want to be that. You want to be the guy that stirs the stick, and you want to be the one that makes everything go. So a comment that I looked at and was looking for was, it says, the world doesn't pay for what you know, it pays for what you do. So that's the difference, right? Jeff and I are in this world that we do a lot of things based on what we know, but it's the actions we take that make things profitable. Simply just get up and do what needs to be done. I mean, that's what people of action do. They do a quick analysis, and then boom, 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 it's done. So think of things this way, right? So how you do, I kind of want to phrase this the right way. How you do anything is how you do everything. So in your mind, if you do anything and you do it in a way of a person of action, do it in every area of your life, because that's how it gets reinforced, and that's how it stays consistency. And that's what we're looking for in these lanes. Don't hold back. Stop holding yourself back. I guess the best way I can say it is ready, fire, aim. The quickest way to get to the target is to fire. And if you miss, then adjust your aim. And in our world, in the sports world, and what we're talking about here every day, this is sort of the spaghetti strainer that Jeff talks about. The strainer is the process in which we don't go out and we hold things back. So my suggestion is if you hold things back, you missed out on opportunities that you passed up, and you made those choices. So find a way to take all action on all opportunities, and then do everything you can to create those desired outcomes. Because the point is, if you're looking for a desired outcome and a positive, but you passed on 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 winners, they stayed on your desk, or they did this, or they got strained out, the issue is going to be you can't overcome that. Because if you had 10 games listed and 6 of them were winners and you left them on your desk, now you probably have 3 losers and 1 winner that you bet on. So put yourself in a different position. However, as you're doing this, stay positive, but stay aware of what you're doing, and also look at it from a perspective of, ask yourself this question: what are the possibilities of what happens if these scenarios and outcomes come true, versus what are the possibilities and the outcomes if they don't? And what is my risk, right? It's always risk versus reward. So be a person of action, be decisive, shoot first, aim, and then improve your aim, and you're going to start hitting targets. Find a way to get more things through your spaghetti strainer. That's the deal for today.
That old spaghetti strainer, and I'm feeling it. Feeling it from Monday, when we should have went 3-0, and we go 1-2, and then Tuesday we leave 2 hockey games on the desk that both win, of course. And then yesterday we come back with 2 hockey games and they both lose, of course. And it's kind of comical that you say that. And the mindset for me has to be new day, new beginning. But in the back of my mind and our mind here at ECSI, our team, is the fact that shit, and one was a plus 196 and one was a plus 140 or something. I mean, that really was 3 units on the desk, and that spaghetti strainer. And it's kind of a happy medium, Scott, where a lot of people on this social media, Twitter, TikTok, wherever you watch, will put up 10, 15 games. They don't care. I mean, because, they're not playing them anyways. And hey, I just went 12-3, where if you had to go to the window and play all 15, listen, anyone go to an app and just hit play. I mean, it's just monopoly money. Go to the window and play 15 games, even if you're a dollar player, and put, $15, $16, $1,700 to the counter.
It's a different thing.
100%.
Yeah, I'm not saying to go out there and be an action junkie. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, I think the better solution sometimes is to find a way, whether you have to reduce your units or whatever, but play where you think you have the edge and don't back off. A lean is something one way, but you don't have conviction in the play. If you don't have conviction in the play, don't take it to the window. But when you take it to the window, you bet what you can, and you bet every one of those, and don't leave any of them on the table.
I agree. That should be an extra basket for the sermon right there. Good job, sir. So remember this, peoples. If you are investing in wagering tonight, always, always, always wager responsibly. And if you have a problem, pick up the phone. There's an 800 number available. Myself and Scott want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. Ask for help. That's all. There's a number there for a reason. Otherwise, make sure you tune in every day for myself and Scott at EC Sports Invest at Webby 20 MLB. Ask some questions. If you're going to ask for help or not ask for help, ask some damn questions. That's all. So tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. West Coast time, the one, the only Mr. Bernie Fratto from Fox Sports Radio will be discussing the MLB lockout and his take on it as he compares it to 1994. And me and Scott pray that he's wrong, that we're going to get a resolution by Monday. So stay tuned there at 2 o'clock Eastern. from rags to riches. Mr. Riley Magnuson from Chicago will be stepping in and talking some NBA hoops and get you ready for some Big Ten basketball Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then, of course, at 4:30, myself and Scott will join you for the closing bell. Everyone here, have a blessed day and a better evening. Thank you so much for all the support, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.